A new Freedom House report says women in the Gulf Arab states are making small but notable gains in their effort to achieve equality with men. The non-governmental international organization presented its report in Washington at an event that attracted more than 140 diplomats, policymakers, and activists. The report compares the state of women's rights over the last 5 years in the 6 countries of the Gulf Cooperation Council. It finds a growing number of Gulf women are joining the workforce, graduating from university, and participating in politics. Yet they continue to face systematic discrimination because of patriarchal laws and social customs. Researcher Sonia Kelly says that while the report does include recommendations for Arab governments, the real audience are women's rights advocates.
We're hoping that by providing these reports, as they're discussing and fighting for reform over a particular issue, they can actually look what has been done in neighboring countries. And if indeed situation is better, that really provides a tool for them to fight for increased rights in their own country.
According to Freedom House, Bahraini women enjoy the greatest degree of freedom overall, while women in Saudi Arabia face the most discrimination. The biggest improvements occurred in Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates. Rafia Al-Tali authored the Oman section of the report. She says Omani women enjoy many rights that counterparts in neighboring countries do not, yet there is room for improvement.
There is no law criminalize or dealing with domestic violence in Oman, and yet again, there is no published or known study about domestic violence in Oman, which I believe there is, of course, domestic violence in Oman, but nobody wants to talk about sensitive issues like this one, like the rest of the Gulf or Arab countries. Also, there is no law criminalize or prohibit sexual harassment at work and other places. Although Oman is a very conservative country, but of course there is lots of things happening and women are actually complaining from that, but there is no law to protect them.
Lubna Al-Qazi, a professor at Kuwait University, spoke about her experience voting for the first time in 2006. Al-Qazi said that Kuwaiti women from all walks of life flocked to the polls, refuting the argument that only the social elite cared to cast a ballot.
In 2006, I took my 70-year-old mother with me in a wheelchair to vote. And there were so many of them that were fingerprinting, but they went and voted. So you could see that it's not something that is just to the minority, but every woman wants to have a voice.
At the opposite end of the spectrum is Saudi Arabia. Women there are disenfranchised, segregated, and must even obtain male approval to travel or obtain health care. But researcher Eleanor Dumato says even in Saudi Arabia, there are signs of change.
Because of women's activism, in just the past decade, domestic abuse, sexual harassment, abuse of domestic workers, and the unfairness of the judicial system toward women litigants are on the national agenda. So is poverty, unemployment, and the necessity of 2 incomes for a family to thrive. This is progress, because not too long ago in Saudi Arabia, to openly address any of these issues as a problem to be solved evoked angry denial and was perceived as an insult to society.
The Freedom House report is the first installment of a larger project that will cover the entire Middle East and North Africa. That report is due out in November.